Let's have over our friend from Imaginative Fleet Enable. It is Mr. Krishna Vatapalli. Krishna, come on up stage, my friend.
Where is he?
There he is. There we go. Cowbell.
From the University of Louisville.
Yeah, Krishna. This is your first
Weighing
time.
in at 185 pounds.
This is your first time in Chattanooga, sir?
This is my second time, actually. I was here right before COVID. I visited your office. It's wonderful. And that's something I recommend to anybody. If they haven't visited Freightwaves' office, they should.
There you go.
Well, it's a little bit like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? Hey, you know, we mentioned our keynotes, right? The keynotes that we heard. What would your dream keynote be? I'm curious.
Dream keynote be, I don't know, there are quite a few things. You just caught me off guard there. So, see, Freightwaves, we talk about a lot of logistics, a lot of technology, okay? And everybody talks about how technology, what is the future? I want to say it's now. Like, how is technology shaping it now? And like, there are a lot of mergers and acquisitions happening. How is technology helping that? So those are some of the things that I would like to talk about in a good keynote.
Fantastic.
Well, and Peter was talking about that quite a bit, about the visibility and the digitization of the network, right? And how important that is, not only right now and how difficult it is with world trade, but how more important it's going to be moving forward as we run into labor shortage and reshoring, or whatever you want to call it.
And he made a very important point this morning. He said that more of the automation on the physical, the hardware side of things, he said, okay, I don't know what's going to go there, but he was more confident about the digitization, the digital solutions aspect of it. That really resonated with what we do. Okay, like digital solutions, they can really change a lot of things. While hardware is coming up, it's still out there. But any paper process, any manual processes, converting that into digital solutions will really push this industry forward. So that really resonated with me.
Well, and as we look forward as an industry, and if I'm an investor and I'm sitting in that keynote listening to Peter talk about the change in globalization, that's got to change what I'm thinking about when it comes to mergers and acquisitions. What is going on in that space now, and how do you see that transforming?
Yep. So for the past 2 years since COVID, you know, supply chains have been impacted. They've drastically changed. So with this, what happened is all the different stakeholders in the logistics space, they started thinking differently. For example, capacity has been difficult, right? So that's why people started acquiring other companies to increase their capacity. And supply chain, this is a nice statement I read online, has transformed to on demand to is like on flexibility, right? So people are like, how can I get my stuff? How can I be flexible about it? Instead of saying that I need it, instead of the just in time, which was earlier, it's on when I need it. So the flexibility aspect. The third most important thing is most of the carriers have been changing to become an omni-channel provider. Okay? That's the reason why you start seeing we do intermodal, we do ocean, we do 3PL, and all these things. So that's my observation.
Yeah. So when you talk about the merger process, the process of merging two companies, the question I guess I have is what are the hurdles that are there? Are there hurdles to overcome? You don't want it to be too fast, I guess, because you want it to be done correctly. But what are those hurdles there that kind of lengthen it that could be solved?
Yep. So this is a hurdle that I observed recently. Until now, or until recent past, most of the mergers were like, okay, we're bringing two companies together, we are bringing 500,000 people together, and let's grow. But with all that digitization happening, I think people are forgetting that the technology needs to be integrated as well. So as an example, a couple of months ago, we met with a potential customer. They said, hey, we primarily work on acquisitions. And I asked them, like, what do you do? How do you do about it? They're like, okay, we run each of them as a separate entity. Each of the company runs their own systems. I'm like, so you missed a big point there. If each of your company is running as a separate entity, they're using their own systems, you lost data. You lost analytics on that. So coming back to your point, people are not looking into data. How can we bring everything together? How can we learn from that? And also, how can we provide them one source of truth? I think that's where people need to focus on.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. Now you've got me thinking like an IT person. Like if I have a merger, all of a sudden I'm starting to get agitated. I'm starting to have a nightmare because I got to worry about this completely different system, either bringing it on or integrating our own system with theirs. How can technology, where are we at with technology helping to make that process more seamless?
That's a good point. So recently, I think we keep hearing the collaboration and people also talking about open platform. Like I just was listening to Redwood Logistics where they were showcasing their open platform. Project 44 is there, and quite a few are out there. But when it comes to the systems aspect of it, there's some custom development that needs to be done. So glad you brought it up. So we have, our team is called Logistics Studio, where we focus only on delivering custom digital solutions to transportation and logistics industry. I have a background in transportation. I love that space. I love technology. So I started this Imaginnovate and Logistics Studio saying, we are innovation for transportation. So primarily what we do is we work with companies, we understand their vision, where they want to go, what their goals are. Based on that, we develop a roadmap for them and build those solutions. So that's how we differentiate. We work with them in a collaborative approach.
Yeah, so you and I were having a conversation before the show over there, and I stopped you because I said, I really want to learn this on the stage. So talk to us a little bit more about Logistics Studio, specifically how can it help, and how important is it moving forward in the changing world?
Right. So let's say companies, I grossly divide them into 3 different buckets, right? One is a small company. They don't use much technology. They're good with pen and paper and stuff. Then you get into a slightly medium-sized companies. They are outgrowing offshore, off-the-shelf tools, and they want to build something custom. And then a third bucket, the larger companies, the billion plus, where they have their own technology team. So we work with all these 3. Okay, let's start with the billion plus, where they have a team. They're like, okay, we want to grow fast. We want a team that knows technology real well, that's innovative, and that knows logistics. We come in there, we build a team. We're not a staffing company. We are a company that knows technology and takes pride in digital solutions. So that's how we build dedicated teams for those companies. The next, the medium bucket, where they are like, okay, we are outgrowing our existing software. What should we do? So we come in and build that roadmap for them and say that, hey, this is how you do it. And it's not that we are a consulting company where we say, I'm going to charge you $1 million to give you a piece of paper. Nah. We work with you lockstep, execute it. We become a true partner at that point. And with the smaller guys who are getting ready to embrace technology, we build them basic solutions so that they're not burning their pocket. At the same time, they are on the technology curve.
Very, very cool. Well, hey, we'll let you back out on the floor over here. If people want to talk to you, meet up with you, should they just run up to you? You got a booth out here? Where do they go?
Yep, so we have a booth here. It's called Logistics Studio. And by the way, tomorrow we are demoing Fleet Enable.
What block are you in?
So I think it's at 9:50 in the morning.
9:15.
Yep.
9:50.
So Fleet Enable is our dedicated final mile platform. So
All right.
no more tomorrow.
Stick around listening to this show because we're going to have someone up here from Ryder in a little bit who will give you all like their advice on surviving a rapid fire demo. So we'll get that info.
We'll do
from
that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is wonderful.
Take
Thanks.
care. Enjoy the scenic city. All right, Eric, you come on up.